Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5:30.
We have breaking news out of Detroit Lakes, where a student at the high school is said to have commented to other students about shooting up the high school at an upcoming event. According to Detroit Lakes Online, he mentioned a specific date, December 22nd, which is Variety Day, a time when everybody would be in the gymnasium. After further investigation, the report says police said the student in question is autistic and likely didn't fully understand the gravity of what he was saying or the consequences. The teenager in question is not facing criminal charges. The school superintendent sent out a mass message to explain to parents what happened. Is it the calm before the storm? We're not seeing too much on our sky cam at the moment, but that could change. It sounds like we may have to wake up a little earlier tomorrow because our morning commute may be a bit slower, with several inches of snow headed our way for some. Let's check right away with Robert Hahn to get the very latest. Robert?
Yeah, right now across the region we are seeing some very light snow, a little bit of freezing drizzle that may create some slick conditions as we head through the next few hours, and things are going to get a lot worse before they get better as we head through the overnight hours. Right now on the radar, not showing a whole lot, but we are seeing some pockets of some, again, light snow, some light freezing drizzle, and even in places where it's not showing on the radar, we are seeing some freezing drizzle. And again, the possibility of some slick conditions will be there as we zoom on out off to the southwest. That's the storm we continue to keep an eye on. It continues to slide off towards the northeast, and that heavier snow right now that continues to develop in parts of South Dakota, that will make its way on up into our area, and we will see some heavy snow, perhaps even some periods of some very heavy snow as we head through the overnight hours and the early morning hours. And because of that, winter storm warning in effect for our entire region. It's in effect through tomorrow evening. And we could see upwards of 2 to 6 inches of snow, some locally higher amounts, and we could see some locally much higher amounts in some locations. We'll detail the snowfall amounts here in just a little bit. Here in Fargo, as we head through the rest of the evening, some cloudy skies, some flurries, some freezing drizzle out there, a few slick spots. More flakes of snow by the 8 o'clock hour. By 9, we're going to start to see some of that steadier snow begin to develop near the Fargo area, if not just south of us, and that will continue to make its way on through during the overnight hours. Again, a lot of snow on its way for most of the region, and we'll detail more on the amounts here in just a little bit.
All right, thank you, Robert. And of course, you can stay up to date on the weather conditions anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just download the Storm Team Weather app to get the latest weather conditions and even follow the radar live. Just search VNL Weather in the App Store. And for updates on school delays or closings, head to valleynewslive.com and click on the weather closing banner on our homepage. And that will keep you up to date on everything that you need to know to plan your day. In the wake of national outrage over police brutality, President Obama announced an executive order that created a task force to examine the state of law enforcement nationwide. And now Fargo police have 2 new positions, community trust officers. Their jobs? Outreach and education for all citizens. Valley News Team's immigration and relocation reporter, Bradford Eric, shows us how the ever-changing diversity of Fargo's neighborhoods means a tall order for these officers.
Officer Matt Niemeyer is a 7-year veteran at Fargo PD and is the one who put down this man, Eric Lee Webb, after a downtown robbery and shootout back in June. But his role in keeping us safe is now changing.
Trying to get out there and basically be an outreach officer to neighborhoods and communities within our city that are low income, minority, and new American.
Officer Niemeyer says the department wants greater transparency with what they do on a daily basis, adding they don't think it could get to a level they want unless they have people specifically dedicated to that task. His position was a topic of discussion at the recent quarterly Refugee Services Advisory Committee meeting.
And they'll be doing outreach, education, and engagement to the general community in a very similar way that I do with our new American population.
While Christy does it from a cultural community-wide approach encompassing the whole city, we are going to be approaching it from more of a neighborhood-by-neighborhood approach.
Niemeyer says that means going to those refugee and immigrant communities and often using interpreters.
Police were the enemy. I mean, they were the ones that were a part of the persecution of these people.
And that association with police and persecution is an issue Officer Niemeyer is tackling head on. Bradford Eric, Valley News Live.
Officer Niemeyer's position was possible through a federal grant. Fargo police had originally asked for 4 positions, but only received funding for 2. To see our other reports regarding refugees and immigrants and to view our survey where we asked your opinions of resettlement here in the metro, just go to valleynewslive.com and find the refugee resettlement section under the news tab. To a developing story now. Cass County jailers are trying to figure out what caused an overnight outbreak that left more than 100 inmates complaining of stomach problems and diarrhea. All the inmates that reported symptoms are being treated, and the Cass County Sheriff's Office says that none of their symptoms are getting worse. Cass County Health is also investigating. Continue to stick with Valley News Live and valleynewslive.com for updates on this developing story. Grand Forks police say the arson suspect in the fire at the Juba Coffee House has been arrested. 25-year-old Matthew Gust of East Grand Forks was arrested at the Super 8 Motel in Foston late last night by the Sheriff's Department. Authorities are not releasing details on whether a tip led to that arrest. It's been just over a week since a cat stuck inside a vacant apartment since mid-September, and the man who rescued him began living together. Walter the cat escaped from the apartment on his own. We're told he was stuck in the walls for several days, eventually making his way into the neighboring apartment. Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop talks with Walter's new owner about how lucky the cat is to be alive.
He didn't have a choice in the matter. I mean, these guys don't know better, we do.
Tom Pollock thinks his new furry friend Walter was abandoned months ago when his neighbor was evicted. Pollock says he told apartment management about the cat and assumed the problem was taken care of. But in late November, he started to hear meowing in his bathroom.
You know, he kind of sounded maybe around here at first. As the days progressed, I could really hear him more clearly here.
Pollock says he told his apartment company again, and in December eventually contacted the Homeward Animal Shelter, who sent out a Fargo police officer to see if it was actually real.
You know, good 3 days, you know, I was the only one hearing this. So yeah, there was kind of a little doubt in my mind of, you know, am I hearing things or am I not? And
Pollock says after the police left knowing he wasn't crazy is when the cat freed himself.
Later that night, around 1 o'clock, I was up having something to eat. I hear another meow, and it was just, you know, it was like he was right in the room.
Pollock says Walter was sitting behind his dresser in the panel where the shower pipes are.
And he was just very nice coming out. He, you know, kind of looked at me and, you know, said, you know, kind of, is it all right if I come in kind of look?
Pollock says he is happy that Walter is safe and now in a loving home, but was shocked that Walter was abandoned and also at his apartment company.
It was just unnerving that no one from the management company had stopped by and knocked on my door and said, could I hear the cat meow? Nobody.
In Fargo, Ashley Bishop, Valley News Live.
We called several numbers for Pollock's apartment company, South Plaza Properties, for comment on whether or not they knew there was a cat in the vacant apartment. But none of the numbers we were given were working numbers. We haven't received a call back. If you need help uncovering fraud and corruption in your community, call our whistleblower hotline at 701-237-6576 and leave your tip. A member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work to expose the truth. Law enforcement, along with school and city officials, said they were exercising caution when they closed Los Angeles public schools today following a bomb threat. More than 640,000 students from kindergarten through high school were told to stay home after at least one school board member received a bomb threat via email. Officials say that every campus will be searched as a precaution. New York City received a similar threat, but authorities there concluded it was a hoax. UND researchers are hunting for buried treasure in western North Dakota that they say is far more valuable than oil, coal, and natural gas. The College of Engineering and Mines has received a $900,000 federal grant to retrieve rare earth elements. They're the elements used in the manufacturing of all kinds of products, including batteries and cell phones, and they're found in coal and the ground that surrounds it. Some rare earth elements are worth hundreds of dollars a teaspoon. The first step in the project will be trying to extract them from the stream of coal used to fire North Dakota's power plants.
Once we identify the best laboratory method, then we will build a skid-mounted system that we can take to a plant and test there.
The United States currently needs to import rare earth elements from China, despite the fact that we have them in our own backyard.